Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're out here, as usual, covering crime. You know what I mean? Now, we're going right back to Alexis Avila. Now, if you need a little reminder, she's the one who, gave her baby a little Kobe Bryant into the trash can. She threw the baby into the garbage. So she is, she's up here for attempted and it's not going well. So we have her baby daddy that comes to the stand. And to be honest, I can't wait to see if in the Alexi Treviso case, the other one, I can't wait to see if they do the same thing, bring the baby's father to the stand. As usual, everybody, go check out the Patreon. I just dropped an exclusive video. It was like a hit squad. Absolutely wild shit happening on Patreon. It's cracking off. Shout out to all 40 patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. We just hit 40 today. You guys are just, you know what I mean? It's just a whole new level. Like, I could really be myself with y'all on Patreon. We could do absolutely anything. Also, go check my Instagram out, agtactical25. Let's get this shit.
You okay to go?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, sir.
You may be seated. Make sure you speak up into the microphone.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'm going to say, first of all I'm going to say is he's going to snitch. Trust me, girl. He don't got loyalty to you like that. He heard them numbers. He was like, oh, she's possibly doing like attempted for like, however many years. He's like, yeah, I'm snitching. I don't want nothing to do with this.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury by your first and last name?
My name is Steven Astorga.
Astora.
Mr. Astorga, do you know a person by the name of Alexis Avila?
Yes, sir.
She
Oh,
was
yeah.
in the courtroom here today.
Yes, sir.
Could you point her out by an article of clothing?
Light
point
pink.
with your finger as well.
Right there with light pink.
Oh, man, bro. I mean, this has to be super invasive, dog. Like, can you point her out? No. Just when he's like, right there, light pink, her over there. Man, it's gotta be a crazy feeling to just tell on your, I guess, ex-girlfriend, current girlfriend. For me, she would be my fucking ex. You threw my baby into the dumpster? Like, bitch, you are crazy. Hell no, we have a problem. You know what I mean? We could have did so many other things than that.
With light pink?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I see that there's several, I actually do see some pink. So when you're saying light pink, what article of clothing are you referring to, sir?
She has a brown shirt, undershirt, right here,
And is she sitting or standing up?
sitting
Oh my god.
with glasses to your left.
Okay. Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness identifying Miss Avila?
So reflect.
How long have you known Miss Avila, Ms. Restoria?
About 2 years.
10 years?
2.
2 years?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever have any sort of relationship with Miss Avila?
Yes, sir.
He's looking into the crowd. I don't know if his mama is there or if is somebody, I'm assuming, right? Somebody took him to court, right? He's looking over at them. He's like, here we go. Man, shout out to him for doing this, though, because she sucks, bro. I don't care what you say. I don't care how good it was. This chick tried to blame disassociating on throwing the baby into a dumpster. Okay.
As a result of that relationship, did you have a child with Miss Avila?
Yes, sir.
You weren't present for the birth of that child, were you?
No, sir.
When did you first get the news that Miss Avila was expecting?
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Around April of 2021
April of 2021. And how did you receive that information?
by pregnancy test.
And did you observe the pregnancy test, or did someone tell you about the pregnancy test?
No, I observed it.
You observed it.
Yes, sir.
So he was there. So that whole lie about, oh, she went to the nurse and, oh, pee in the cup and, oh, it was a false positive and then I got a negative. Bro, the boyfriend was right there. She peed on the stick and was positive. Like, come on. crazy. Like just the fact of her lying on small shit like that makes you want to just convict her even more. It's like, fuck it, send her back there for 16. She'll be all right. She'll be cool. You know what I mean? Hopefully she won't have no kids after that.
And the pregnancy test was, I presume, administered with Miss Avila,
Yes.
and she was obviously present for this pregnancy test. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
She appeared to see the pregnancy test or to not see the pregnancy test.
She seen it.
Did you?
She see it. No, guys. She was disassociating, okay? There's a psychologist that came in that testified over 400 times, okay? In her expert opinion, she disassociated all of that, guys, okay? So give Avila a break. We need to petition. We need to get her out of jail because she disassociated, y'all. Come on now, preach. Come on now, free her.
Did you ever discuss this pregnancy test?
Not that I recall.
Did you ever discuss what you were going to do with the baby at that point in time?
No, sir.
He told her to get rid of
Did
it.
you continue in your relationship with Miss Avila?
Yes, sir.
Approximately how long was your relationship with Miss Avila?
Altogether, after I found out,
Yeah, after you found out in April.
about 2 more months.
2 more months?
Yes, sir.
And with reference to the pregnancy test result back in April, what were you doing in terms of school or work or otherwise?
I was still attending school.
Yeah, so in other words, they were freaking the fuck out because he was like, babe, I can't afford this. And she was like, babe, I know I can't afford it either. You better get rid of it, babe. You better get rid of it. And I think she took it pretty literally and got rid of it. You know what I mean? I think he meant earlier on, there's methods that you can take, or, you can have the baby secretly and give it away to the hospital or something. But she took that shit literally because trust me, this guy, he's not as innocent as he's coming off to be. Like, oh yeah, I knew. And what'd you discuss about doing with the pregnancy? Oh, nothing at the time. Sure. You mean to tell me like, oh, you're pregnant? Okay. And then we just go back to school next week? No, that's not how that worked. So, he's saving his own ass, of course. But yeah, he's snitching her ass out, man. Tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That's what he's doing.
Then,
What about Miss Avila?
she was sometimes there, sometimes she wasn't. Just depended.
Did you guys go to the same school?
Yes, sir.
Which school was that?
Outside,
What grade were you in?
I was a junior,
What grade was Miss Avila
senior.
in? And she was
Oh,
attending-
and she was fucking a younger guy. Now, hold on. He was a junior. She was a senior. Oh, wait. No. Junior's right before senior. And she probably was held back because she was hella old. So, never mind. She was probably just stupid.
same school at the same time that you were, I presume.
Yes, sir.
Did you also have any sort of jobs in 2021?
Yes, sir, too.
And what about Miss Avila? Were you aware of her having any jobs?
Just one.
Where was that?
Martin Boot.
And with her work and with school, were you aware of any sort of difficulties, either at work or school, during the time that you were in a relationship with her?
No, sir.
Were you aware of any sort of blackouts or any sort of serious medical conditions like that?
No, sir.
And
Even look at his face when he's like, no, sir. Like, look at the boyfriend's face. He's like, dude, that's bullshit. Look at his face.
any sort of serious medical conditions like that?
No, sir.
No, sir. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading into that facial expression, but what I'm seeing is like, come on. That's bullshit. You know she don't got no blacking out condition. Please.
And is this at any point between April and the months afterwards while you were in a relationship with Miss Avila?
Can you repeat that?
And with reference to sort of your basis of knowledge, this is based off your experiences with Miss Avila in this time period, is that right?
Yes, sir.
How well do you feel that you got to know Miss Avila during the time that you were in a relationship with her?
Pretty well.
What was your reaction to the news that there was a positive pregnancy result?
Excited.
Yeah, sure. Excited? Bullshit. You told her to get rid of that shit. You're such a liar. You could see it oozing out of his face. Excited? Sure. you were excited, then you would have kept better tabs on your woman. Like, look at.
Pretty well.
What was your reaction to the news that there was a positive pregnancy result?
Look, he looks down.
Excited?
Sure.
Were you able to observe her reaction?
No, sir.
Were you able to discuss it with her?
No, sir.
Were you able to discuss any sort of plans with regards to a pregnancy?
I was able to, but never discussed it.
Why not?
Didn't feel it was the right time because I was at my friend's house at the time that I received the pregnancy test.
So there was no point where you had a discussion regarding this pregnancy?
No, sir.
What about other people? Were you able to tell other people about the positive result?
Just one of my friends.
Okay. Did this friend go to the same high school?
Yes, sir.
With regards to the baby, when was the first time that you were able to see your baby after he was born?
About a week after when I picked him up from the hospital in Lubbock.
And just to be clear,
You know, it's actually crazy that they gave this baby to the father. Maybe he's fine, you know, maybe he's cool, maybe he'll love up on the baby, treat the baby right. But I mean, like, the mother already threw the baby into the dumpster, and you're just gonna go and pass it on to the father, who goes to the same high school, who finds that type of a female attractive. Like, I would have had to vet this guy out, all types of shit, man. Like, you know, mom and dad, they're not going to let him do anything. So now it's public. Now he can't. It's his responsibility. But still, it's kind of like, bro, if this was still a secret, you probably would have did some wild shit yourself. You know?
you were not present at the baby's birth, is that right?
Yes, sir.
But you have been present since you were able to get custody out of the hospital of the baby, is that
Yes, sir.
right? How's the baby doing today?
He's doing well.
Okay. Any medical conditions at this point in time?
No, just possible heart murmur, and that's pretty much all.
What about his lungs?
They're good. He had some difficulties with asthma, but as of right now, we're still going to a specialist for all that.
Okay, but other than having to see that specialist for the lung issue and then potential heart murmur, baby's doing okay today.
Yes, sir.
All right, good news. Your Honor, the state passes the witness.
Hold on real quick. I think he ended it right there. But it's really smart how the prosecutor ended it off at, like, okay, and the baby's okay. And then it just kind of leaves, this is what we're talking about, you know, to the jury. Like, it's all about the baby. Is the baby doing okay? What are all the things he had to go through, possibly because of this incident, you know? This and that, okay, good news. And then he walks away. That little spice at the end of it goes a long way for the jury, I'm telling you. Because it would go a long way for me. In my mind, I'd be like, damn, she really threw that little pretty baby with a little heart murmur into the trash. Like, you know what I mean? They're tugging at your strings a little bit. Crazy.
Cross-exam.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Stroger.
Good afternoon.
So let's talk about when you indicate that you first heard that, you first knew that.
Here comes the dog shit lawyer. Here she comes. She's going in, y'all. She's going in. I don't know how much they paid on this lady, but she is going in, y'all. Let's see what happens.
April was pregnant. I'm sorry. Alexis was pregnant. You said that was in April?
Yes, ma'am.
April of 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We've been in court before about this case, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have testified in court before about this case at least one time prior to this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at that time, you told us that you didn't know. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
But today, you're telling us that you got a pregnancy test in April.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When in April did you get this pregnancy test result?
I don't know an exact date.
Do you think it was early April or maybe later in the month?
Later on in the month, maybe 2 weeks or week left in April.
A week left in April?
Yes, ma'am.
And so at that time, you said you did not discuss this with Alexis at all.
Yes, ma'am.
So you just found out, you're telling us today that you got a pregnancy test from, did you see her do the test?
No, ma'am.
You didn't?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you're saying that,
Wait, didn't he just tell prosecutors that he was present when she took the test? I don't know. This whole witness is starting to be shaky for me. Like, what the fuck? Didn't he just say he was present? But either way, we're talking about her taking the test. Oh, did you see it? Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, did you? Who cares? She Kobe'd the baby into the trash. Like, I'm going to keep saying that. Like, what are we talking about right now? Like, none of this shit makes any difference.
You didn't talk about it.
No, ma'am, she had taken it to me to where I was at.
Okay. But the previous
Oh, okay. He's saying she brought it to him. And so he didn't see her pee on the stick, but it was there. It was positive.
time when we had court, which was last year, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In fact, it would probably be around February of 2022, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And this had just happened in January, and in February, a month later, you did not know that she had been pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about the baby now. I'm very happy to hear that he's doing well.
Thank you.
And you said he has a possible heart murmur?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I heard recently that apparently I have one too, but. And you said he has asthma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about yourself? You have asthma too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, all right. Oh my God. You could tell this lawyer's inexperienced. He's trying to throw shade at him. You're not supposed to be well, I guess it's not throwing shade at him. She's trying to let the jury feel like, okay, you're not believable. Okay, he lied about a few things earlier, but all I'm gonna say is it doesn't make a difference. But the one thing I'm gonna take away from her, though, I think she did a good job, is when she said, you have asthma too, right? So, we're linking this to the father. This has nothing to do with the baby going in the dumpster. Just so y'all know, for the jury. Still don't matter. I mean, she probably could have got less time, to be honest, with a better lawyer. But,
Any redirect?
No.
Any questions from the jury for Mr. Astorga?
Okay, so that was the boyfriend, BF, all that good stuff. The guy the seed passer. You know what I mean? But now, so he's saying that she doesn't disassociate. That's bullshit, right? Now we're going to the psychiatrist, the clinical psychiatrist that the defense wanted to bring up. I'm just going to give a little background because they take a really long time in describing her background. She did over 400 trials. She's testified professionally in over 400 trials. She's seen many patients, like countless patients, and this is her expert opinion. So let's get into her.
So I was concerned about her speech and her use of language, and her thinking seemed very, what I would call concrete, very literal. So she didn't seem to present with what we call the ability for abstract thinking, which is
okay, whatever. All right, so we're going into the psych. I always had my reservations about psychology. I even took a psychology course in college because it was easier to get credits on. Some of the things they teach, I feel like, is human psychology. It makes very much sense. It's real. It happens. But some of these experts who come up here be bringing up some wild shit, and I can't help but think that they, it would be illegal, but I can't help but think they're getting like some type of gain, some type of monetary gain by doing things like this. But anyway, we're going to break down what she believes her, concrete thinking causes, like how that causes disassociative behavior. I want to see how she knows that, but let's go.
a higher order of thinking. An example is the difference between a dog and a lion. What's the difference? Well, there's a lot of things in common. They have 4 feet, they have tails, they're covered with hair, they're carnivores. But the abstract answer is that they're both animals and they're both carnivores. That's the abstract answer. That's the higher order answer that kind of covers all the rest. The rest of that is what we call concrete, literal thinking. I mean, it's all true, but the higher level is to say they're carnivores and they're animals or they're predators. That's the higher order thinking. So her thinking was very concrete and literal. So because of that, I gave her a test that looks at how her brain works. And the name of that test is the Cognitive Linguistic Quick Test Plus. So we call it the CL.
The Cognitive Linguistic Test Plus. I missed the word. I don't know them words, and it's a lot. It's a mouthful, lady. I don't know if I believe you. You know, and who is this expert witness? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she has the credentials. She's a clinical psychologist, Susan Cave. You know what I mean? I cannot take that away from her. But it's almost like, how are you getting this from her? It's just lining up perfectly with what the defense is trying to go with. Too perfectly.
Plus. It has 11 subtests, and it measures brain functioning across 5 areas: attention, memory, language, what we call executive functioning, which is decision making, thinking, planning things out, anticipating the consequences of your actions, and one called visuospatial skills, which is the ability to accurately perceive 3-dimensional space, like doing a puzzle or drawing a map. That's 3-dimensional space. So I gave her that test, and I found something that's very interesting, and I think it's key to understanding what happened here. And that is that she is moderately impaired for attention. Almost like a child with attention deficit disorder.
Dr. Cave,
Yes.
you need to answer the question that's asked, and I think you've already answered it. You may ask your next
Okay.
question.
Yeah,
So,
she's going crazy with it. But I feel it though. The lecturer is coming out of her. You know, I feel like I was in a lecture class just now, or a psychology class. But what she's trying to get to us is that she didn't really understand the actions of her consequences, and she wasn't actually present during the time of her actions. I'm sorry, but that's just not gonna fly. Like, that shit would not fly for me. When I first heard this, I was like, what? Like, you know, this is what we're going with. This is what we're going with. Okay. But, you know, I think they always knew she was going to get time. So they tried to go with this to try and just blunt the time. Maybe 5 years because she disassociated. You know, she did a terrible thing, but she disassociated. That's what defense was going for. And to be honest, 5 years would have been a complete W for her.
You did a personality assessment screener. What is that for?
That's a very quick, it's 22 questions, it's 1 page. It's a quick assessment of what's going on in the personality. Is she anxious, depressed, suicidal, psychotic, and so on. So that's what that is.
And you did do it.
Yes.
And then a trauma symptom. Well, let me ask you this. Ultimately, you were able to diagnose somebody with, I believe you diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Could you speak to that?
Yes. Bipolar disorder is what we call a mood disorder, where a person has highs and they can be angry, irritable, full of energy, not needing to sleep, but they can't focus, they can't concentrate, they're tearing around, they start 100 projects in one day and can't stick with anything. That's the high. That's what we call mania. And then there's the low, where they get really depressed, lethargic, have no energy, lose interest in things that used to be important. So she manifests these kind of...
And I'm sorry. I mean, I've seen some bipolar people in interviews, and that's something we should do. Probably like a true bipolar person that's been diagnosed. She's not displaying those signs to me. I mean, she could be, but the way that she just, oh yeah, she's bipolar, and she dissociates. Like, come on. Like, I don't believe that shit.
big mood swings like this.
Now, more specifically, because I know I just said it, you diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder.
Yes.
Cyclical.
Yes.
And explain to the jury, what cyclical is that what you just described, the up and down?
Yes, cyclical is the up and down. I mean, we all go up and down, but these people have huge swings, and they can turn on a dime.
Okay. Now, you obviously did this after she was charged and accused of this crime. You did this assessment after that occurred, right?
Yes.
Is it your opinion that she was bipolar, is, and will be, or do you know what I'm saying? I want it to be clear for the jury that this is something that you can say, hey, she was this even prior to the criminal activity that she engaged in.
Objection to the form of the questions, Levy.
Okay, well, so.
If you'll refresh.
Yes. we've already established you diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Yes.
When do you have an opinion on when the onset of that may have been with Miss Alexis Avila?
It can be in childhood or adolescence.
Yeah, you know, they're trying to say she didn't suddenly just develop this bipolar disorder, you know what I mean? And they're just going to go on and on. I just want to show you guys a little clip of, you know, they brought a real professional in here trying to say that she was disassociating and had all these issues with her, and that's what caused her to do this. You know, they're trying to blunt the force of the crash as much as possible because they know the crash is coming, but they're just trying to, you know, hold it back. You know, they're trying to keep it from being completely catastrophic. But anyways, y'all, that was just a little update for the Alexis Avila trial. We're soon going to go into the sentencing, and the look on her face when she realizes, I think Avila thought that she was going to get off with this for some reason. She just knew that this psychologist was going to get her ass off because she's good or something like that, you know, but it didn't work out. But anyways, y'all, stay inside, man. Stay safe. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.